Between influencers, YouTube doctors, and ads promising me eternal life if I just buy this one very expensive supplement, I don't know if I'm wasting my money. And so I decided to try one of those online blood tests that actually tells you if you have any deficiencies in any of the key vitamins and minerals. So let's talk about what I'm taking, why I'm taking it, and then the final result, and let's see whether I have actually been wasting all of my money.
I'm 61, trying to stay sharp, mobile and not creak when I get out of bed. But choosing the right supplements feels like a full-time job, and every week there's a new must-have miracle supplement. There are so many out there and we just never know which ones to choose and which ones to ignore. Do I need magnesium or do I need maca? Collagen or cod liver oil? You know, it's just absolutely crazy. So aging comes with real challenges, which we're all very, very aware of. Things like our energy levels, our joints, our skin, our sleep, our mood. And food is not what it used to be. Unless you cook everything from scratch, you're going to be ingesting a lot of the food rubbish, I guess, or the things that they put into the food that is absolutely rubbish and possibly not any good for us. So we look to supplements to plug the gaps, but who do we trust? Let me just talk you through some of these supplements that I have got in front of me. So I take turmeric, and this is the one supplement I think I can honestly say hand on heart, I feel the effects if I don't take it. It helps with my joints. I've got the beginnings of, or I think, arthritis in my hands. My mum has it, or rheumatism, or whatever you want to call it. My mum has it, and her hand joints are very distended and swollen. So I decided that I was going to find something to help with that, and I didn't want to be taking ibuprofen for the rest of my life. So I chose turmeric, and to be honest with you, as I say, if I didn't take it, I would be very, very aware that I wasn't taking it. And my joints in my hands, if I pick something up, it would be just that ache inside each joint that I would feel. So that's one that I do take, and one that I highly recommend that people that have got that feeling in their hands of almost like a swelling and I wouldn't say it's a pain, although it can be very painful if I pick up something and I haven't taken my turmeric. I have sprays, because I've heard that taking the sprays orally gets it into the bloodstream quickly, and it means that you don't lose most of it in your digestive system. So I've got iron there. I've got vitamin D with some KT stuck in there as well. I've got a multivitamin. I think this is a multivitamin. Yes. Oh no, this is the B12. So I've been taking the B12 because I've been feeling tired lately. So everybody, you just assume that you've got a B12 deficiency. It's like when you were having your monthly periods. It's something they always said that you should be taking as well, along with iron. And then I've also got a multivitamin there as well. And I know, before anybody says, you're not supposed to take multivitamin along with other vitamins because you could get an overdose. But I'm very careful. I actually haven't taken that multivitamin for quite a while. Presumably it's still in date, but yeah. And then the ones at the back, methylene blue is a new one that I'm taking. That's not a vitamin or a mineral, but that is a supplement that I'm taking based on the recommendation of Imogen, and it's been working really well for me, so I will continue to take that one. Then I've got magnesium to help with sleep, because I obviously postmenopausal don't really sleep very well, so I thought I'd give that one a go. And then I've got some D-mannose, I don't know how you pronounce that, because that helps if you've got any cystitis or urine infection type things. It's absolutely brilliant. That's probably my second recommendation for anybody that suffers from cystitis or from urinary tract inflammation or anything like that. Take it. It's absolutely brilliant. But I take 3 of those for 2 days and it's gone completely. No antibiotics required at all. And then The only time that I take that is if I'm dehydrated, because that's when infections can grab you. So yeah, that's another one I highly recommend. But again, these two are not really vitamins or minerals to be taken, they're extras, but they are part of the supplement routine that I've got. So that's what I take at the moment. So let's have a chat. So those are the supplements that I am currently taking. I have used a lot more and discarded a lot more along the way. There are some that I thought were actually didn't do anything for me, and I just cut them out and I never even noticed. So I'd like to just sort of have a brief discussion about why we feel that we should be taking them. To be honest, I think it's FOMO, it's fear of missing out, just in case that one supplement could change our lives or make us sleep for a whole 8 hours, or make our skin look so dewy, glowy, fresh, like we're 20 again. We don't actually really think about why we're taking it. I think we feel as a gender that we should be taking it. We should be taking more care of ourselves. You know, we owe it to ourselves to spend money trying to make ourselves look and feel better. But we never really know, do we? It's never, ever proven one way or another, unless we have a condition where we go to our doctor and the doctor does blood tests and tells you whether you've got an iron deficiency, or whether you're low in vitamin K, or, you know, and generally speaking, most of the time we never really know. So these vitamin supplements that I've got in front of me, these ones in particular, the spray ones, you can get them from, I get mine from my local Waitrose, but you can get them from any big supermarket and get them online. They are, I think, between £10 and £15 a go, depending on which one it is that you're getting. So that's quite a fair bit. I think if I was to take the recommended dose, I think it will probably last me about a month. You know, when you add them up, I've got 4 in front of me, so that's like £40 to £50 already, and that's without any of the other ones. And generally speaking, depending on which supplement you buy, they can be very, very, very expensive. So I began to wonder, why am I taking it? And I did research into ways that I could find out if I did actually need it. Yes, I could go to the doctor and ask him for blood tests, but unless I had a particular reason for requesting a blood test, I think the answer would be no, because we all know the NHS is short of money and they don't like to do any tests that they don't feel are necessarily important. And as my health is in very good nick at the moment, fingers crossed. I hope I stay that way for a long time. There would be no reason for a doctor to authorise blood tests for me. So the next option was to scour the internet and see whether I could get a blood test done privately. And I came across quite a few. One that I'd used before, I think I did a COVID test privately way back at the beginning of COVID. I think I decided that I wanted to know whether the way I was feeling it was COVID, so I did do a private blood test, but that was a complete waste of time. It was a negative result, but I swear blind, I felt worse then than I did when I did you know, those little tests that you got free, and that was positive. And anyway, that was live and learn moment. That was definitely a live and learn moment. So I found an online company, and they had just a basic blood test. You can get a lot of things tested actually. And one of the things I'm fairly interested in doing next is possibly doing a liver function test to see if my liver is giving off any signs of not functioning properly. A couple of months ago, I think just after Christmas, I did a cholesterol test from online, and that came back as my cholesterol was perfect. It was fine, so I don't have to worry about that at all. And it is quite reassuring, but I will say that it's not cheap. The test that I am about to go through the results with you, this test cost me £99, and it tested all of the major vitamins, but it also included magnesium, and that's not included in a lot of the online tests. So make sure if you are going to do this yourself that you have a look and see what's actually included. So interestingly enough, I purchased the test on Friday, I think it was, and today is Wednesday. So I bought the test on Friday. It was delivered on Saturday in a small cardboard box. I did the test on Monday morning and I took it straight to a priority post box and posted it, and I got the results back within 24 hours. And I think that service is absolutely amazing. So I did it over a weekend, but I think realistically, within 48 hours, you could have purchased the test, received it, done the blood test, sent it off, and actually received the results. So yeah, I'll recommend this company. I'll put a link in the comments below. But yeah, I was really impressed with their swift customer service, I suppose it is, isn't it? So, going to read from my notes now. So I've got you get an online account and they give you all the results online, and they give you, it's not on this particular printout that I've done, but they also give you cautions as to what the results could be and what the results mean. And there's also an AI bot that you can click, and it will give you a bit more of a detailed analysis of the blood test results. These are just a blood test for vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies. So it's not like I'm doing a liver function test. So I didn't need any of that. I already understand, what magnesium, or how important magnesium is to the body, and all that that's the kind of information it's giving you. But I thought that again was quite good. So it starts off with albumin, which I'm not really fully aware of. So I'm going to discard it because I wasn't conscious of this. I don't know what this is. I don't even know if albumin is a mineral or a vitamin. I'm assuming it's a mineral. But that came back as normal. So even though I wasn't aware of it, I don't have a problem with it. The next one down is calcium. I originally thought these were in alphabetical order, but they don't appear to be. Anyway, calcium. Obviously, all senior ladies, we do need to be aware of our calcium because of our bones. And mine has come back as normal. It came back as 2.5, and I don't know what the MMO something -L means. And the normal range is 2.2 to 2.6, so I'm smack bang in the middle. So my calcium levels are fine, which means my bones are fine. Bone density will be great as long as I continue to exercise and put weight on my bones and make sure that they stay that way. Just because my calcium levels are great, I know that I do need to make sure that I do weight-bearing exercise on my on my legs rather, I should say, and make sure that I keep my arms moving as well. So moving on down to, it does give you something called adjusted calcium, which again, I wasn't particularly aware of, so I'm going to discard that as well. But I mean, that was within the parameters too. They did give me a little short introduction to what adjusted calcium was, but something they do some kind of calculation to work out your calcium level to an adjusted calcium level. But again, with me, not aware of it, so wasn't too particularly bothered, and it's normal, so I won't worry about it and lose any sleep. So moving down to magnesium, this is one that I thought that I would have a deficiency in, because you just assume as you get older that magnesium is not absorbed very well by your body. And because I don't sleep particularly well, I just assumed that I would have a deficiency in that. But I am within the normal parameters of magnesium as well. I'm on 0.89, and then the normal range is between 0.7 and 1. So again, I won't need the magnesium. Then it moves on down to ferritin, which is iron. Now, this is an interesting one because my iron levels, or ferritin levels, are 373, and the normal range is 30 to 332. So I'm on the high level of the scale, and they have recommended that I go and see a GP, because what that means is that if you have higher ferritin levels or higher iron levels, that you have possibly have either liver function problems or you have an infection. Now, I've had a slight earache on and off for most of this year, so it could possibly be that, but that I am going to go and see the doctor just to check that out. It's not an emergency, so it's not a case of me rushing down there, but yeah, that's a note that I know that I need to go and get that checked out. And again, that's another reason why I was going to do a liver function test. So then moving down to the next one, that's vitamin B12. And I, again, because I feel tired and lethargic a lot of the time, I thought that I would have a deficiency in my B12 levels. However, that again is normal, which is brilliant, and I'm not knocking this. I am 84.4 of whatever that result thing is, PMOI/L, and I am, I think that says greater than 37.5, which is, no, sorry, saying that wrong. 84.4 is my reading, and the normal range is anywhere above 37.5, so I'm in a normal range, so my vitamin B12 is fine. Moving on down to vitamin B9, which to you and me is folic acid, so you generally associate that with pregnant ladies, making sure that they've got enough when they're pregnant so their babies develop properly. My vitamin B9 is 7.3, and the normal range is anything above 7. So it's telling me that it may indicate a possible folate deficiency. Yes, I mean, I am in the range, but I'm at the very, very borderline side of it. So, yes, I have gone out and purchased some folic acid. But I'll talk about that again in a minute. And then the final one is vitamin D. And again, I assumed because I work from home, and I'm an introvert and I don't really go out very much, I assumed that I would have a vitamin D deficiency. We live in the UK, we don't get a great deal of sunshine. Yes, I know we've just had a heat wave, but yeah, most of the time I don't get a lot of light unless I'm going for a walk or something. So I just assumed my vitamin D levels would be low, and it's telling me that I'm on 57 and the normal parameters are 50 to 250, so I'm borderline low. So I am already I already have a vitamin D supplement, so I shall be continuing to take that one. So I found this really, really interesting, and now I know that I don't need to bother with half of the supplements that I've got in front of me, so that could potentially be saving me, upwards of 50 quid a month, which is great. That's quite a saving for me, so I'm pleased with that. That means then that I've got to sort out if there's a problem with my whether I've got an infection in my body or whether I've got a liver function issue. And apart from that, it's just my vitamin B9 and vitamin D. So I have purchased some folate tablets, and I'm going to try them and see how it goes, and I might retake this test in 6 months' time. One disclaimer I will say is that I have been taking those vitamins and supplements that I showed you earlier for the whole of this year. So obviously I have been taking some last year, but for this year, and we're now 6 months in, or just over 6 months in, I stopped taking them for a week before that I decided to do this blood test. So it could be that my levels were still fairly, all my levels have come out as normal apart from 2. And that could be because I was already taking the supplements, and not taking them for a week may not have been long enough for them to have come out of my system. So we will see. Hence why I think I'm going to retake it in 6 months once I've stopped taking these supplements. The other note that I just want to make clear is that I don't buy the cheapest supplements going. I read somewhere, I can't remember where it was. I think it was online, Googled something and came up with supplements. A lot of the cheap ones have fillers included in them, so you're paying for a weak solution or a weak powder or whatever form it takes. You're paying for a weakened supplement because it's got fillers. So things like if it's a tablet and it's cheap, it's going to have been, mixed together with some kind of filler, and it's then made into a tablet form. So you're actually buying something that you don't need. It's just cheapening the product that you've bought. So I always buy high grade, or what I consider, once I've done research, high grade supplements. So I tend to ones that are natural or promise me no fillers in them. And most of these are either capsules or the spray, as I said before. So this one says it's a natural folate food supplement. So it's coming from spinach leaf, apparently. And it provides the folic acid from the spinach extract, and then that's put into a vegetable cellulose capsule. So that's as natural as I can possibly get. So I'll let you know about whether that is actually does me, if I feel any different while I'm on it. And then in possibly 6 months' time, I will do another test and see where my levels are again. What else was I going to say? So the magnesium that I take, this is magnesium citrate, and that does help with digestive problems. So sometimes and I'm going to be blunt, sometimes when you're dehydrated, you may not be, you may get constipated because you've not been drinking enough. And if you take a couple of magnesium citrate tablets, that will help you pass much easier, much softer. So I will keep those just in case I ever need them at some point. The B12, the iron and the multivitamin, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them, to be honest with you. I might see whether any family members want them. If not, I will just bin them because they are useless to me. I don't need them. If they have got a long shelf life, I'm trying to see if I can see where the use by date is on them. Interesting. Can't see anything at the moment. That was interesting. I thought everything had to have a use by date. Anyway, I won't waste my time looking at that now. But if it's got a long use by date, then I might keep them until I've done the second test in 6 months' time, just to see whether I am actually low in anything like that. So I hope you found this interesting. I actually did. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to things like this. So I've just proven, I think, that most of the supplements that I am taking are not required. So I can actually stop taking them and wasting my money. But I thought that was actually quite interesting. Don't know if I mentioned, but the test cost me £99, and that is quite a lot. But if I'm going to be saving myself the 50-ish pounds a month on these supplements that I don't need, then it's going to have paid for itself, isn't it, within in a month or two. So yeah. So yes, we will see. So let me know your thoughts on this and whether you're tempted to do one of these blood tests yourself to see whether you actually are deficient in anything or whether you need to take some supplements. Because I think that every woman should be tested at certain parts in her latter years, shall we say, so that we can make sure that we are functioning at the most, at the best level that we possibly can be. I don't think we should have to pay for it ourselves, but that's just me. We do. I guess it's a bit like dentists. We should be able to get a dentist on the NHS, but finding one is, you can't find one for love nor money. And then waiting lists are ridiculous. So I do go private with my dentist as well. So I will pay for private blood tests if I have to. And I have considered using a private GP. If it's for something like, if I don't get any luck with the GP for this persistent ear ache that I have, then I would consider going to a private GP. And I have considered private health insurance as well, but I don't know. It is very expensive. So yeah, we'll wait and see. So if you've also got a supplement like the ones that I recommended, if you've got any of those type of recommendations, will you share them? Because I think everybody would be interested to see what people actually do recommend that actually works for them and they get a result that they like. I'd love to know what else people use. I know there are a lot of other, not just these vitamins and minerals, but there are lots of supplements like the methylene blue and the turmeric. There's lots of supplements out there that people swear by. So I'd love to know the ones that you would recommend to other people. And I'm sure that we could build up some kind of little library for us older ladies so that we can give those a go if we get any of the symptoms that you've had. So I'm Julie, this is the Temple of One. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please click the like button, and if you could subscribe, I would love that. Thanks, bye.